Hi everyone, this is Josh with Josh Wright Piano TV. Today I'm coming to you from a practice room at the University of Michigan, so if you hear background noise, that's why. Today I want to talk about rotation as a means of easing tension. I'm going to use two different examples. First, the Chopin Nocturne in D-flat major, Opus 27 number 2, and then second of all, the Chopin Ballade number 4 Coda. And both of these places have given me trouble in the last little while, just in little ways. So I want to show you. I changed my fingering. There's a couple different fingerings you can use for this Chopin Nocturne. 3, 2, 1, sorry, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5. I did that for a lot of years, but I've noticed it sometimes crumbles under pressure, especially. It feels a little weak, so I decided to change to 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 1, 5, 2, 3, 2, 5, and then 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5, 1, 3, 2, 5. So feels a lot better, but sometimes getting into this can be tough and you can kind of fall apart at the top. So I want to show you how rotation can help you to ease that tension. And this is true of any place where you feel kind of like, I've had a bad habit in the past. Like, for instance, when I was like 15, I remember my teacher was telling me, you're playing the Winter Wind Etude from your top knuckle rather than much more efficiently from these bottom knuckles. So I want to go over how rotation can help you. Okay, here we go. So you don't need a lot of rotation, and the hard thing is you watch all these amazing concert pianists and you think, gosh, they just have the most perfect technique, and a lot of them have amazing technique, but a lot of them are doing things that are imperceptible to you as an audience member or as a viewer on YouTube or whatever it is. I'm going to rotate towards my thumb, rotate towards my thumb, rotate, 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 rotate. Sorry, wrong notes. See, if I hadn't told you I was rotating, I'm looking at the camera right now. You can't even barely tell that I'm rotating. Okay, so, but if I just go straight on, that's what happens. See how it turns into mush if you just go straight on and you try to control everything perfectly? So that's why I like to think, rotate towards the thumb, rotate, rotate, and pretty soon... that wasn't good. Okay, let's try it again. It's getting better. Maybe I'll slow it down just ever so slightly, take a little rubato on that place. Let's see. It's feeling better. Doing that a couple of times helps. One more try. See, I took time at the end to kind of finish out that phrase too. I find a lot of students, they just, I'm not getting it, and they just sit and try and robot their way through it, you know, just only mechanical, and then they get so much tension. This rotation helps to get the tension out of your hand. I was studying for my last doctoral exam these past couple of weeks. It's a final oral exam. You have to go in front of the faculty and they grill you on your repertoire. And I presented a lot of Chopin repertoire in these 3 dissertation recitals is what they call them here at the University of Michigan. And I remember reading that Chopin, I don't know what book this came from, so because I read a bunch of different books to prepare for the test, but he said there should be no technique problems if you figure out a good fingering and the way to hold your hand, or something like that. I can't remember exactly what he said, but Chopin himself said, I mean, obviously a master pianist, contemporary of Liszt, they knew each other, and I mean, and Liszt was one of the greatest pianists ever, especially his technical facilities. So Chopin knew what he was doing, obviously. And so if he said there shouldn't be any technical issues, then we can really take that rotation to heart and figure out, okay, if my hand isn't working for that in high speeds, how can I distribute the weight differently when I'm going through those passages? Similarly, the coda of the fourth ballade, I remember a few days before my last doctoral recital, which you can view the video of my Chopin ballades doctoral recital. I'll put a link on this screen and in the comments section below. I remember a couple days before I was kind of getting a little too tight and I was getting a little mushy. So my teacher and I went over this, and he said, when you have a thumb note, you can rotate towards your thumb, and then when you have a high note, you can kind of rotate forwards a little bit like that. So let me show you where I would rotate. So first of all, we'll go through this passage slowly, just so you know what it sounds like. Lots of little awkward things. So what I did is, what he helped me with is rotate to the left, rotate to the left, up or in, because that's in the middle of my hand. It doesn't make sense to kind of rotate that way because I've got to just turn right back that way. So again, left, left, in, left, and then down, just kind of drop into this figure, in, left, up and down. Now that seems like a lot, but even just practicing left, left, in, left, down, in, left, in, and then you notice it starts to get really comfortable. With these, you can do in, out, or just focus on sliding there. Thirds are a little different because you're not really rotating to each note. It would not make sense to rotate each one. I know that the Taubman technique does like double rotations for every third. I watched a video on thirds and they rotate on each one. I think it's too busy in here. There's a lot of wonderful stuff in Taubman technique, but a lot of strange things as well I've found that aren't quite as practical. But I do love a lot of their things, don't get me wrong. Very smart method so far as utilizing rotation like this. So however you want to go over that, but what I like to think about is making a smooth connection on the top. Another thing that you can do, this is just a little bonus material for this video, you can connect those. Since you're sliding, release the 2. Release the 1 because you're not sliding to it, or because you're sliding to it. Release the 2 because you're going 2, 2. So anytime you can't connect those, that's really helpful. Another place like is Ondine. That's easy to kind of fall apart. Rotate around your thumb. Rotate around your thumb. Rotate around your thumb. So if you even have that one pivot note, it helps a lot. Okay, one more time on this Chopin fourth ballade. Notice it's not really perceptible where I'm rotating. It's just something in my mind that helps me to do it. So don't feel bad when you watch professionals. I feel bad all the time. I think, oh man, I totally suck right now because they can do this so easily. Why can't I? but they're probably thinking of things or organizing it differently in their minds. So this is what we're trying to teach you in this video, is how to organize it differently so that you too can just do it effortlessly, even if the movements are somewhat imperceptible to the audience member. Let's see. See, I messed up. I wasn't focusing on it. I'm gonna think in there, in. It's been a little while. It's been a couple weeks. I've been studying the last 2 weeks and getting very little practice in, so I don't want to totally botch that ending. I hope this video has been helpful. If you don't mind sharing this video or liking it, or you can leave a comment with your thoughts below, just so it can be shared with as many people as possible. I would really appreciate that. I'm trying to be more consistent with these videos on my channel. I appreciate your support of Josh Wright Piano TV. Have a great week.